wish people would understand that we are not, we are hardworking people and we don't need to compromise on finances. We don't have to do everything. We should let go of the things. There were times when I'd be very confused because I didn't particularly like the product myself. So I made a conscious decision at that point that if I'm going to be true to my following, I need to put out stuff that I like. And that's why even today I do a lot of exclusive work. Hello, my name is Natasha and I run a food blog under the Insta handle If Nat Can Cook. Okay, so you might have noticed there's an if before Nat can cook. The reason being that if a person like me can cook, I feel anyone can cook. It was something that I was not taught. I just developed a passion and interest for it after I got married. So what happened was when I got married and I came to Lahore, I did not get to eat all the food that I had at home. I come from a multicultural family where Iranian and Burmese food is a big part of our everyday meals, and I did not find that here. Alongside that, when I got married, there weren't that many restaurants here, nor was there a lot of options for takeout. So I decided to learn all those things and start cooking. And once I started cooking and started serving people at dinners at home, I started getting a lot of inquiries for recipes, and there came a point where I was a little flustered because I couldn't give the same recipes to 20-30 people. Thus, I started an Insta page, a YouTube channel, and on Facebook, If Nat Can Cook, with all the recipes posted there for you to go and see if you want to make it. So initially what happened was I did this for family and friends. Initially I put out a poll out there for my name and everyone decided for me, and we chose the name If Nat Can Cook. And then I started noticing a lot of interactions with people and all of a sudden quite a few followers, and it kind of grew in numbers very organically, very quickly. And I started getting a lot of likes and comments from people I did not know because I'd kept the page open. In a few years, it started to evolve and I started getting a lot of DMs, and people actually started trusting my choice of food. Like for instance, where I got what grocery item from and which one I preferred. And I'm also a very open person. Whatever I use and whatever recipe I make, I post it just like that. I don't hold back anything. So people started noticing that the audience that was watching me was actually listening to what I was saying, and they interacted with me via comments and DMs, which I used to post screenshots of. And hence, I got sponsored content when I actually only had 5,000 followers was when I got my first sponsored content by a very lovely rice company. They had so much trust and faith in my recipes that they hired me for 5 different feed posts using recipes. Collaboration is very important across the board because you give your ideas to a new audience, and when there's an exchange of ideas between people, a lot of magic can happen. I've done a lot of collaborations with hotels, retreats. I've done some sponsored content for television, for documentaries, and what's happened is that each and every time I was talked about in the media, there were more people interested in what I had to say, and vice versa. I have also learned from everyone else that I've collaborated with. It really helps you to expand exponentially, get more followers, get more likes, get more interactions, and it's always good to learn from someone else because you cannot live in this bubble of an environment. You have to go out there and see what's in this world. So it's very important for you to collaborate with people to get their good ideas incorporated in your work, and they can also learn from you. We are learning every single day of our lives. It's very important to learn it with the people around you. We live in a world where social media is king and there's so much going on. And I just feel that for me to be able to excel, I had to concentrate on 1 or 2 things rather than be a part of everything around me. As much as I want to do that, I also have a parallel life, and I am a mom and a housewife along with a working person. I just felt that I'm going to take one platform or maybe two and just try and concentrate on that, and instead of being a jack of all trades and having my finger in every pie, I wanted to concentrate and excel at one. So initially when I started this, people told me that I should create longer content, and I can understand why they said that, but I felt that people like me who don't really have a very high attention span, I myself would not like to see anything over 2 to 3 minutes, because we all lead very busy lives. I want to get my point across in as short a time period as possible, but in that short time I want to make sense, and I want to say the right things. Because I have your attention for a very short time, I want to make the most of it. So I believe shorter content is better for me in the longer run. And I've also kind of now streamlined it in such a way, because of the experience I have over 4 or 5 years. I've also noticed that my audience prefers shorter content versus larger, longer content. There are lots of people doing what I do, and a lot of times what happens is that people get filtered out because either the content is too long, or it's a little boring, or it's not lively enough, or maybe the food content is not great. So keeping all of that in mind, I feel when I keep it concise, I get my point across the board. So as I grew in numbers, a lot of sponsored content came my way. Many companies wanted me to use their products to make recipes out of. And there were times when I'd be very confused because I didn't particularly like the product myself. So I made a conscious decision at that point that if I'm going to be true to my following, I need to put out stuff that I like. And that's why even today I do a lot of exclusive work, if you might have noticed, if you follow me. I do things from my heart, and cooking is a passion for me. And that's why I have filtered out a lot of offers that come to me, and I stick to what I believe in. There's a wide variety of people who message me on a monthly basis asking me to do work for them. I think ideally I would only like to work with brands that make pure, good food, healthy items. However, I'm also up for fun things, but things that I mostly like, and I have a discussion with the clients, and if I'm happy with what they're offering, then I work with them. So I have to say that sometimes brands tend to bargain about pricing. Now, sponsored content means that I'm being paid to make a video and a recipe of it, right? It's a lot of work. A whole amount of time goes by planning it and executing it, because there's no cameraman, there's no lighting, and there's just me and my work. So what happens is that they try and bargain, and they don't, I feel sometimes, give me what I think my work is worth. I wish people would understand that we are not, we are hardworking people, and we don't need to compromise on finances. We don't have to do everything. We should let go of the things or the people who are not paying us enough, because we are worth that amount. And I just feel that that is something people should keep in mind. Everyone is in it to make money, right? So these people are making money, but they don't want to pay that much to influencers or bloggers, which I think is a little unfair. If my work is good and if I feel that I'm worth the money, I think it's kind of unfair when people say, "Aap itne mein kar lein, ya aap aisa kare, half price mein kar lein." I don't do that. I tend to refuse such offers. So what happens is that there are many recipes that are very dear to me, and I sometimes feel that the recipes that I completely and absolutely love don't get the amount of views or likes other recipes do. So just to give you a little bit of example, now aloo gosht is my favorite thing in this world, and so is biryani, but every time I make aloo gosht and biryani, I get say 30,000 views and likes. But the second I make fried rice or say a pasta, I don't get that many. Now, although I love Pakistani food the most, there are many bloggers who are already doing that. They're making desi food, and that's not my forte, that's not my specialty. I make fusion food. So sometimes I get a little disheartened, but it's okay, that's life. I will still post whatever I need to post, and I'll do it from the heart, and I'll just hope that the next one does better. Okay, so if you're new to this and you want to be a food blogger, let me tell you, there's a whole world out there. There's just a few things that you need to know. You have to stay very true to your passion. Whatever you cook, whatever your niche is, you have to stay true to that. And alongside that, a little bit of luck helps. If you know a few people who can possibly repost your stories or your content to get more followers, that'll be good too. And you know, when you're making food content, it's very important for you to show the food very clearly, and it's very important for you to be very precise about what you're doing. There can't be any gray areas. You cannot be vague about it. And once you learn how to edit and put everything together, there are certain, you know, Instagram or Facebook or YouTube rules that you must read about. There are certain times of the day you need to post, there are certain hashtags you need to use, etc., etc. But I just feel if you stay true to what you believe in and execute it well, the followers and people who are watching you will come. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed my little chat with you, and I certainly hope that whatever I said made a little bit of sense and I was at least a little bit helpful. All I want you to do is stay true to your passion, keep cooking or doing whatever else you're doing, and keep creating. You just have to be on it, and you just have to do it a little intelligently. But the motto of all of this is that you keep creating.